What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another wonderful, beautiful Paulizade Talks. We got the sunset over here. We got the nature in the background, the breeze. Everything feels just so right. I hope you're having a great day, a great evening, great afternoon. I hope this Monday started off right and ended off even greater. So today we're going to be talking about the 3 states of living. And everybody is living in one of these 3 states. The past, the present, and the future. Everybody is living in one of these 3 states. And let me tell you the difference between each one, right? The past, people that live in the past are just overthinking their previous chapters. Those that live in the present are feeling content about their current chapter. And those that are living in the future are overthinking their current chapter. So everybody in a sense is living in one out of these 3 or 2 out of these 3, and each of these are playing a different effect on everybody's lives, whether it be positive or negative. And we're going to dive right into them. So, the 3 states of living. We're going to start off by talking about the past, right? What is the past all about? The past is certain things that happened that maybe were good and maybe were bad, but either way, they were all just something to help to guide you and teach you a lesson to help move you forward in the direction that you desire, right? Because if said events never happened to you, you probably wouldn't be the person that you are today, right? Those that live in the past are always stressed about what happened, right? And sometimes that stress can be good because sometimes you need that pressure in order for you to grow. And sometimes that stress can be too much to handle, and it could make you worse for the future. But either way, it's all a learning lesson. It's all a learning curve. It's all there to teach you an important lesson, so that way you're able to move forward in your life into your next chapter. You may be feeling states of like depression or maybe sadness or even shamefulness, right? These are some of the symptoms that can happen when you're living in the past, because you're always constantly overthinking events and conversations in your mind that happened, and you're asking yourself like, wow, why didn't I respond this way? Or I could have said this to prevent said action from happening. But either way, you're feeling these emotions because you wish you could have done something a little differently in your past, right? And then you start to overthink, like I said before, the previous chapter. You start to overthink and try to relive that chapter and try to correct things when you can't do anything about what has already transpired. But again, it's a learning lesson. Everything that happens in your life is just a lesson that you can utilize in order to help you grow and become a better version of yourself. So the past is there as a stamp or as a mark, letting you know where you once were. And sometimes it is important to go and revisit that past so that way you don't make the same mistakes in the present or in the future. So it's important to understand that everything that happened before, it had to happen because you needed to learn certain lessons. And you probably couldn't grasp certain lessons unless you went through what you went through in your past, right? The present. What's the present all about? The present is accepting what has occurred and feeling excitement for what is. The present is just accepting what has already happened. Because what happened, happened. There's nothing you can do to change it. But you can do something about right now. You can do something about right now to change the trajectory of your future. You have an awareness of the current moment. You have such a heightened awareness of everything that is happening to you and for you in the moment that you don't dwell on what happened, even 10 minutes ago, right? You don't dwell too much on the things that happened in your past because you understand that the more you dwell on something, the more it takes you out of the present moment, and therefore you're not able to act accordingly when certain situations are happening to you in that moment. So instead of your mind being stuck in the past and your body being in the present, both are in alignment. Your heart, they're all in alignment here right now. So that way you're able to execute effectively and efficiently. You know, one thing about these videos that I love is that it always puts me in the present moment. These videos are not the easiest thing to do because it's easy to get all in your head and think about, well, my last video didn't do good, or the videos that I did in the past never did good, so what makes me think the video that I made today is going to do any better? Well, the thing is, I'm always in the present moment every time I make these videos. So even if I do have these thoughts or these feelings, I always put myself in the present moment, and I always continue to show up for myself because I'm aware of my current situation. I'm aware of what's happening right now, and I feel excitement for what is. I'm excited to be right here, right now in this moment, because like I said in the beginning, we got the sunset right here. We got this beautiful nature, the breeze, the air. Everything just feels so good right now. I feel so good right now, and that's all that matters, is right here, right now in this moment. Another thing about being in the present is you enjoy the little things, the little wins. You enjoy those things. You find joy in your achievements. You set goals, small goals, and you achieve those goals, and you find enjoyment in achieving those things. Now, all of us have great goals, grand goals that we want to reach, right? But those goals don't happen overnight. They happen over time. And in order for you to reach those goals, you have to plan accordingly, which means setting small, achievable goals for you for that day. Like me, I only got 5 or 6 goals to achieve, but they're achievable, right? And this is one of them. And I'm so excited and I'm so happy that I'm able to celebrate in the achievement of this goal, because this is a great milestone for me. Which, by the way, we just reached 250 subscribers on the channel. Clap that up. Clap that up. I was so excited about that goal, and it was so worth celebrating because I know that I'm going to reach the next level soon. So I'm so excited, and thank you so much for your support. Thank you for the love, and I greatly appreciate it. But another thing about being in the present is being at peace with where you are. You may not be where you want to be right now, but if you find peace with where you currently are, you open up pathways for you to take in order for you to reach the future that you truly desire. Because you bog yourself down when you're thinking about the things that you don't have, and you complain about how your situation isn't how you desire it to be. Because the universe is just going to continue to give you more and more of that same situation. If you keep on thinking thoughts of lack and thoughts of like, man, I wish I had this, I wish I had that, the universe is going to bless you with more of that, more of wishing you had, more of I don't have this. But if you start to make peace with yourself and say, well, I'm grateful that I have this in my life. I'm grateful for this home that I have. I'm grateful for all of the many tools that I have at my disposal to help me become the greatest version of myself. That invites more and more and more blessings to come your way, right? There's a quote as well that I'm going to share with you that makes total sense with what it is that I just shared with you, right? And I found it so profound, right? Is this: humans have the misconception that source is no longer expanding, or that source is finished and perfect, and that humans are not working to accomplish that perfection. But what is really going on is that source is expanding into greater capacities of love because of that which man is living. And basically what that means is, if you're living in a state of gratitude and you're living in a state of peace with who you are and where you are, then the universe is going to create more and more and more things for you to enjoy and be happy and peaceful about. But if you're always thinking like, well, this is it, this is where I am, this is where I'm going to be, there's no more growth, then the universe is going to continue to give you that same perpetual cycle of everything that you're currently living, because you don't have a desire to elevate and go higher. So it's all fair. It's all working within the laws. And all of us are susceptible to the law of nature, the law of attraction. There are other laws as well, but we're all susceptible to the laws, right? There's a rule that says that the fool and the wise man are both susceptible to the laws of nature. but it's all about how you choose to use those laws, right? So be at peace with where you are now and watch how more things start to come into your life, right? Another thing about living in the present, you start to express gratitude for what you have, for what you do have. Like I said before, you don't only live in peace, but you express gratitude for what you already have. Like you're so happy and grateful that you're able to be here today, sit here and listen to this video. Like, I'm so happy and grateful that I'm able to have the mindset to deliver this type of information to you. I'm so happy and grateful that I have all the tools at my disposal in order for me to do the things that I'm doing today. Everything that I have witnessed and everything that I've encountered and learned and studied, I'm able to implement right here, right now in my own life. And I see how it plays a mass effect. And I'm so happy and I'm so grateful for that. That is the kind of gratitude that you need to have if you truly desire to create the life and the reality that you truly want. Because it doesn't happen by just, well, I'll just sit here and wait and hope it comes. It doesn't happen that way. It happens when you start to get grateful and then you start to take the action steps through that gratitude, right? You cannot take action and be ungrateful at the same time. It just doesn't work that way. It's a tug of war within you. Because as you're moving forward, there's this tug that's holding you back because you don't feel the gratitude of what it is that you're doing. So find the gratitude, find the excitement, find the peace and the joy in what it is that you're doing and propel yourself forward. Because you're just holding yourself back when you live in these states of limited beliefs and doubt and you don't believe in yourself or what it is that you're doing, right? And finally, being present means feeling content about your current chapter. This chapter in your life, currently as it stands, is so important, it's so vital to your story. It may not seem like it, it may not feel like it right now, right? But it's so important. You know, I was watching a video today and it kind of spoke about that similarly, right? The young lady was basically talking about how it feels as though lately things have been feeling mundane or boring. And it's because maybe we have been looking at things from a different perspective now. Like before, we were just so engulfed in all these different illusions and lies and misconceptions that now that everything's being brought to the forefront, now the truth is starting to be revealed, things don't feel the same way. Because now the lifting of the veil has happened, right? The apocalypse, the lifting of the veil has happened, and now everybody is aware of what's going on. And so now life is starting to take on a different meaning. And a lot of people are not finding satisfaction in the things that they once were doing, and therefore life feels kind of boring and mundane. But that's only because we are all shifting and elevating the consciousness in a different direction. And so I say that because this chapter is so important for you, right? Because this isn't just the end, but this is just a new beginning. And it's your priority and responsibility to write this chapter how you see fit. And be mindful of everything that is happening to you in the present moment and see how it makes up who you are in each and every page of your life. So it's important to feel content about your current chapter because you are the author. Every single day you get up, you do what it is that you do, you are the author, you're the architect, you are creating your own story. And now let's talk about the future, right? So living in the future brings feelings of anxiousness for what is to come. Most of the times we're so anxious and excited about our future because if you're a visionary like me, you can visualize and see where it is that you desire to be in the future. You see it so clearly, clear as day. You see the person that you are. You see who you're becoming. You can feel yourself in the environments that you desire to be in. You can see yourself making the money. You can see yourself like being around these different environments. You can just see it so clearly. So that brings up a lot of anxiousness and excitement in what it is that the future holds for you. Another thing is you worry. It creates worry about the unknown. Although you may be excited about your future, it still isn't really known how you're going to get there. It's not like a roadmap that's paved out for you to go, because it's like you're stumbling in the dark almost. Like you're trying to figure out how to get to that point, but it's not really clear as to how you're going to get to that point. You know you're going to get there, but you just don't know how. So that brings a little bit of worry and concern. And it's okay to feel that way in the unknown, because you're treading a path that a lot of people haven't taken. And you've been given a vision that a lot of people can't see. So when you try to express that vision to others, it's baffling, because it's like they don't understand or they don't see it how you see it. But it's because God gave you that vision for you to see. He may not have given you the path to walk, but the path is going to be revealed to you over time. But he gave you the vision, so that way everything that you do has purpose and has meaning, and it takes you forward and brings you into that present or in that future that you currently see yourself in. So don't worry about the unknown, right? Embrace it. Embrace the unknown. And just keep on treading forward. Keep on blazing the trail. Keep on walking your path, because you're going to get to that future. Another thing when living in the future is anticipating worst case scenarios or expecting the same outcome as before. So it's good to live in the vision of your future, but it also brings a lot of uncertainty when you stay too long in that, because now you start to create these doubts and limiting beliefs for yourself. You start to say things like, well, wow, how am I going to get there? Or is it even possible? Or am I just making this up? Maybe this isn't for me. Maybe I should just, give up. Or, those type of thoughts are starting to come to your mind. And you create a worst case scenario for yourself, because you're thinking like, well, what if it doesn't work out? Right? I have good news for you, right? You're already living in your worst case scenario. You're already living it. You're already living in it. So ask yourself this: if I'm already living in my worst case scenario, what's the best that could happen? Side note, go check out the new storefront for my new clothing line. What's the best that could happen? This is what this is all tailored to, right? Understanding that the worst case scenario has already happened, and the best case scenario is already prepared for you to achieve, right? And honestly, don't expect the same outcomes that you've had in your past or even in your present, right? Because just because one thing didn't work out, that doesn't mean this new opportunity won't work out for you. Because we tend to tailor our future to the things that we've experienced, to the failures that we experienced. But understand that there's no such thing as failures. There's only learning lessons. Everything that you went through, everything that you experienced was only there to help you to grow and evolve and become a greater version of yourself. Because you didn't know what you now know. You didn't know what you knew during that experience. But once you went through that experience and brought it into your present, now it starts to create the future for you. So understand, you're already living in your worst case scenario. But ask yourself, what's the best that could happen? And finally, living in the future causes you to overthink your upcoming chapters. Like I said before, you start to anticipate these worst case scenarios, and you start to expect the same outcome as before, because you start to overthink everything that's in your next chapter. You start to overthink all of these things, and all you have to do is just focus on the main thing. Allow the main thing to be the main thing. Don't worry about all the minute details, right? You've been given the vision, and you speak it clearly every single day. The only thing you have to do is just execute. Everything else, the other pieces are going to fall into place, right? All of the other pieces are going to fall into place. Your job is to stay diligent and stay focused in the present moment while anticipating the greatest, right? The greatest outcome for your future. Because no matter what, everything that you go through is designed to help get you to the next level. Like, for instance, when me and my fiance moved out here to Georgia, right? We moved out here on a whim because we were chasing our dreams, right? And we got a great opportunity to elevate our lives. So we didn't know what it was going to look like. We didn't know what the outcome was going to be. All we knew was we had a great opportunity on our hands. Let's go ahead, run with this opportunity, seize the opportunity, right? and take it wherever we desire and run with it. Now, what happens? Who knows what's going to happen? Who knows what's happening right now? We know what's happening. But all we know is this has allowed us to be in positions that we never saw ourselves in. And it's all because we trusted the process. We trusted the present and the future, and we allowed our past to be an indicator of the indicator of how our present's going to be, right? We didn't allow our past to hold us back. We allowed our past to propel us forward into the present and into the future. And so there you have it, the 3 states of living. Now let me ask you this. What state are you currently living in? Are you living in the past? Are you living in the present? Or are you living in the future? Or are you living in all 3? Are you living in 2? Either way, let me know in the comment sections where you are currently living in. What state are you living in, and how do you intend to better that state of living? How do you intend to use whatever state of living that you're in to further increase what it is that you already have going on to make your life better? I look forward to hearing from you. But thank you so much. Thank you for being on this journey with me. Thank you for allowing me to be on this journey with you. I truly believe we do better when we grow together, so let's continue to grow with one another. And if you found this video helpful, inspiring, or motivating in any way, shape, or form, make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe, and click the notification bell to get notified whenever I publish another video. Also, you can follow me on all of my other various social media at paulazaanthony.com. at paulazaanthony, at paulazaanthony on Instagram, TikTok, even here on YouTube, right? And Fanbase. Check me out on all of my other platforms. And also, go check out the new merch as well. What's the best possible outcome, right? What's the best that could happen? Check out the new merch today and get inspired to live your best life. Instead of worrying about what's the worst case scenario, focus on what's the best that could happen. No matter which one of these things you're living in, understand that all of these are working for your benefit. The past is working for your benefit. The present is working for your benefit. And the future is working for your benefit. You didn't come this far just to come this far. You didn't go through what you went through just to play victim and throw a pity party. Nah. Everything you went through was designed for you to grow. Because the universe, God, whatever you believe in, knew that you were able to handle that. Now it's up to you to decide how you utilize what you've gone through. Utilize your experiences to be the best version of yourself. This has been another Paula Zay Talks. I'm Paula Zay Anthony. And until next time, peace.